Every year in February, the county I live in has a fair. It's nothing super big, just classic rides and games that obviously scam you out of your money. I went with a few friends because it's always awkward going alone. But it didn't make it any better that both of my friends brought their girlfriends. So I was pretty much alone anyways. It was about 8:30 at night when we got there and started walking around. They wanted to go on the Ferris wheel and take cute photos, of course. So while they did their typical couple shit, I wandered around checking out the fair. I was walking about when this creepy clown guy tried to talk me into going in the fun house. I didn't really like clowns at all, and this guy was creepy. His makeup was all messed up, and his outfit was pretty rundown. He kept insisting I go inside, to the point I told the weirdo to fuck off. His bubbly voice instantly changed. He said, in the most evil voice I've ever heard, "Maybe I'll just have some fun with your friends then." I quickly walked away from the guy. I kept looking back to see him in the distance, just glaring at me. My friends were finally off their ride. I didn't tell them what happened because it just seemed like some creep to me. But things changed really fast. We stopped at a vendor for some food, and I got this feeling that I was being watched. I looked around to see the creepy fucking clown watching me and my friends from around the building. I told my buddy that it was time to leave. I explained what was going on, and he understood, of course. It was a good walk back to where we parked. When we made it to the car, we had a flat tire. Did this creep do this? How do you know what car it was ours? So many things running through my head. I looked back at the entrance of the fair and saw the silhouette of that fucking clown just watching us. So, at the time, I didn't have a car and had to get back and forth to work every day. So, getting an Uber was the go-to. Since using Uber, I would get all kinds of drivers, young, old, male, female. Most were always nice and talkative people, just trying to not make the ride awkward. My work was about a 20-minute drive from my house. I would usually get off work by 9:30, but this time I had to stay a little later and help restock and clean up a bit. By the time I got off, it was 11 p.m. So I got an Uber, took the guy almost 30 minutes to show up. Finally, after a long wait, the Uber finally arrived in an all blacked out car with tinted windows, but nothing out of normal in this town. The guy rolled down his window to ask if I was the one waiting for him, to which I answered and proceeded to get in the back seat. First thing I noticed getting to this guy's car was the demonic music he was listening to. It was like nothing I ever heard before. It was talking about death, the devil, and demons. Just strange music to have playing in an Uber. We started heading to my house, and here came the questions of where do you work, how long have I lived here, and how old I was, and if I lived alone. And he just continued with this to the point it was getting uncomfortable. The guy himself was dressed in all black and covered in satanic style tattoos. Everything at this point was just weird, but we were almost to my house. We finally pulled into the driveway when he turned around and asked me if he could add me on Snapchat, to which I replied that I didn't have one. Then he asked for my Facebook. At this point, I told him thanks for the ride, but I'm not comfortable giving you my information. This is when his mood changed. He yelled, "Get the fuck out of my car." I quickly opened the door and ran into my house. This is where it got even more creepy. He sat in my driveway for a good 10 minutes. And then I see the tall man get out of his car and started pounding on my front door and trying to turn the knob. I called the cops, but before they got there, he was gone. But that's not the end of it. I see his car drive around my neighborhood almost every day. And I keep getting friend requests on Facebook from accounts with no pictures. I'm really scared, and I don't know what to do.